There it is. There it is, folks. There we are. That's here we go. Here we go. Sorry for that. It's a little technological difficulties, but the so I apologize for coming on 10 minutes late. Just trying to make sure that this is going on. Anything I will say will anything other than results are excuses, so I'll just apologize for being late. The technology difficulties gave me a little hiccup, but one thing that hip hop has taught me is that you just got to roll with the punches. You got to be prepared for what is going on. So, this is your host, Mighty Flipside. I am your MC teacher. This is MC class, basically learning how to be an MC, a lyrical MC. There's different parts of being an MC, and we're going to talk about how to write hip hop song lyrics. This class is about how to write hip hop song lyrics. This is class 4 of a about a 6 class series about writing. Essentially, class 1 was basically asking you to the deep question that's going to get you started. Question 2 was you had to spark the art. You had to be focused. Depending on how you answered question number 1 is how you would do the rest of your class here. Question number 2, class 2 was basically essentially learning how to commit things to memory. Class 3 was actually understanding what bars are and writing bars. And today we're going to get into being a little bit more creative when it comes to writing bars. So this is class 4. Again, this class is for people who are very new to writing rhymes, who have never written rhymes before, who are excited about it, who want to try it out. If you're a seasoned MC or rap writer, maybe this class isn't for you, or maybe you want to check this out to broaden your skills and see how teaching an MC class could work. This class is basically for anybody, but it's focused on people who are wanting to write rhymes or just due to the idea of writing hip hop song lyrics for the first time, and understanding that it's part of the culture, the hip hop culture. In today's lesson, we're going to be focusing on a few things. We're going to be doing a bunch of writing today. We're going to talk a little bit about the flow. We're going to talk a lot about selling the joke and what that means, and how being creative with your rhymes and your bars, what that means, and how that's going to help you when you're writing your rhymes. Talk about practicing in a cipher. Now, today's rap community, people who are starting hip hop lyrics for the first time, may not know what cipher is, or some people are thinking that this cipher is an old idea, but it's something that's quite important. I see Amber Darko Stoppers here. Hi, Amber. How are you? Good to see you. Tunes in every week with her son. So that's the flow. Selling the joke. We're going to talk about a cipher. Performance of your songs that you have written. Having 16 bars memorized. We're going to talk about my tips and tricks, some punctuation, some of the things that I use to help me with my songwriting. And we're going to talk a little bit about freestyling and how, and just to be clear, there's a couple uh, debates, or rather difference of opinion, what freestyle is. And the freestyle that I'm referring to is a spontaneous, off the top, completely improv hip hop lyric performance. That's the freestyle I'm referring to. Some people have a different definition of what they mean by freestyle. Just want to make sure I'm very clear about this is an off the top freestyle improv. All right. So let's start a little bit with our first thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about the flow. Last time we had you all write some songs. Last time, again, we wanted you to make sure that you had your book. You're going to have your rhyme book with you at all times. You're going to carry this with you. You're going to write down ideas. Just write down ideas. You come up with a cool line, a cool concept. Not even song lyrics. Just something. Just have ideas that you write down. When the ideas come to you, write them down in your book. That's why it's a good idea to have them with you. It could be a line, it could be a clever thing, it would be an idea for a song. Just have them written down, okay? Last time we wrote 4 bars, and we talked about what writing 4 bars is. Um, and what 4 bars is essentially is when you take a line over the rhythm. If you have one line and let me see if I can get this in focus. One line over the rhythm, and you take another line and you rhyme with that. Most of the time that is 2 bars. So when you take a line and you rhyme with it, and you take a line and you rhyme with it again, that ends up being 4 bars most of the time. Most of the time. So if you're new to writing lyrics, most of the time when you're rhyming over the beat, you have 4 lines, 2 of the lines rhyme, and then the next 2 lines rhyme with each other. That essentially is 4 bars. So we wrote 4 bars, and we talked about putting some of these bars together. All right, let me see if I got a 90 BPM beat here. So last time I gave you an opportunity I gave you a beat. It was like a 90 BPM beat. It was like a beat that we used to rhyme before. And, that's going to be, see if I can have it set up for you. I did have it set up, but my technological difficulties, let's see. Just have a beat, 90 BPMs. I wanted to have let's see if this works. It's 90 BPMs. Oh, and what I mean by BPMs, when people say BPMs, they mean beats per minute. That is the metric that people use to measure how fast the tempo of the song is. For example, if you're not sure what BPMs are, so it's very important that you know that you're following the beats per minute. That is the metric that they use to count how the music is working with you. You notice my head is bopping. 2, dun, 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 dun. And then there's a way that we count the groove. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 bars. And we showed you last time how to write rhymes in those bars. So again, we talked about coming up with 4 lines and how the first line is sometimes the most important. Now, when I wrote these lines last time, I let you know that what these were was just an example of how to show you how to rap over the beat. All right? There was no prize like the present. This is mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. Just sit back and let me do my thing. That's 4 bars, all right? And when I told you last time, I really tried to decide that the first line, even though I think those rap is okay, I really tried to focus on the first line, making sure the first line was very clever, catchy, and so sit back and, at your leisure in your rhyme book, write down ways that you can intro something. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, or I'd like to welcome you to the so-and-so, or you are now about to witness the so-and-so, like a great introduction to anything, like a great introduction. So just write down introductions and just find a clever way to come up with it. So we're going to go back to the 4 bars. I wrote another 4 bars because I wanted to talk a little bit about the flow and selling the joke, what that means. So when you see me, how I rap over the rhythm is the flow, right? All right. So that is, it's important to understand the 1. There was no prize like the present. This is mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. Sit back and let me do my thing. Right? So the way that I did that was just one kind of flow. If I were to switch up the flow, same words, but there's going to be a little bit of different swing to it. There was no prize like the present. Mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. Sit back and let me do my thing. So it's a different, see how I accented the rhymes over the beat in a different way? The difference in sway, or the difference in how you present the rhymes, is called flow. One of the masters at flow, in my opinion, is Black Thought of the Roots. I've heard him do the same words, it's the same rhyme, but he'll deliver it in a way that he's changing the way he's rhyming over the music. It'll be the same exact rhyme, but his flow is different, and it really gives a different taste to what the rhyme is, okay? So let me just do a few different flows, all right? There was no prize like the present. This is mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. Sit back and let me do my thing. There was no prize like the present. Mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I do my thing. I'm just like a king. That's like kind of choppy flow. All right. If I would go, there was no prize like the present. Mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the microphone, I feel like a king. Just sit back and let me do my thing. What I'm doing is like kind of playing with the flow. Again, these are the same words over and over and over again. What I'm doing is changing the flow. Now, you won't be able to do that and if you don't have the rhyme written down or if you don't have it memorized. I know there's some people who say, oh, I don't write rhymes or I don't write rhymes. One way or another, the rhymes are written. Okay, just don't. If some people say, I don't write things down, they're composing it in their mind one way or the other. So it's being written in some kind of way, all right? Unless it's freestyle, which we'll talk about later. Freestyle is a whole different category, all right? So I'm just going to stick with a standard flow right now, and I'm going to show you how we come around to the next bars, right? If I say, there was no prize like the present. This is mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. Sit back and let me do my thing. All right? So I wrote something else. It's about time that the man of the hour saw it like a tower that'll start to devour your whack cats and all your rat packs. I treat them like chips and like rap snacks. So what I was doing there was basically taking another 4 bars and adding a different kind of flow to it, all right? It's about, all right. It's about time the man of the hour that's tall like a tower that will start to devour your whack cats and all your rat packs. I take all your chips, treat them like rap snacks. So let me just show you what I did there, right? All right, so I'm going to show you some of the punctuation that I use. It's about time, oh, sorry. All right. Found the 1, 2. It's about time that the man of the hour that's tall like a tower that will start to devour your whack cats and all your rat packs. I take all your chips, treat them like rap snacks. So let me just show you what I did right there. So what I'm doing is adding another 4 bars, but I'm adding a little bit of, you saw how I changed the flow or switched up the flow, but I'm adding a little bit of what is called a scheme. All right. So the first line, let me make sure I get these on the screen somehow. The first line of the 5th bar that I have here, it's about time that the man of the hour that's tall like a tower will start to devour your whack cats and all your rat packs. Take all of your chips, treat them like rap snacks. So again, it's just a playful kind of rhyme. But what I'm doing here is the scheme is this. When I say it's about time that the man of the hour. So I'm playing with the concept of time. If I say it's about time, the man of the hour. So it doesn't rhyme, but it's kind of a scheme here. When I say the time and man of the hour, it's two things are happening here. It's almost like I'm saying one thing, but I'm meaning two things at once. This could be considered a double entendre, but we're not going to go into that yet. We're going to refer to this as a scheme. It's about time that the man of the hour, tall like a tower, will start to devour. Devour is, again, maybe you're not familiar with the word devour. It means to eat up quite vigorously or eat up really fast. And I want you to see this here. That little diamond, that's important. Okay, we'll come back to that. You whack cats and all your rat packs. Take all of your chips, treat them like rap snacks. So what I was doing is playing with the theme here. Another theme that I have here is that whack cats, talk about whack MCs, and all your rat packs. Again, the theme with rat and cat. Also, cats eat rats, or essentially, in theory, another theme about devouring or eating. All right, so you have like the devour line that's kind of connected to cats and rat packs. And when you start doing this kind of like multi-layered rhymes like that, people start paying attention and start noticing, oh wow, there's like, not only does it rhyme with each other, there's little callbacks to other things in the verse. So if I say stand tall like a tower, this is just a big up to myself, but again, a call back to man of the hour, like I'm important, that's why I'm rapping here. You whack cats and all your rat packs. I mean, some of you may not know what the rat pack is. A rat pack is an old-fashioned group of friends like Sammy Davis Jr., but it's like a bunch, like a crew of people. Take all of your chips, treat them like rap snacks. If I take all your chips, kind of a casino reference, like a casino, and older people will understand that the Rat Pack was kind of really into gambling. But you will say, I take all of your chips and treat them like rap snacks. So what I'm saying is rap snacks. I'm eating these rappers. I treat them like rap snacks. But rap snacks are also a brand of chips. Right? So what I'm saying is when you have all these connections in here, people will start paying attention to like, oh wow, not only do these words rhyme, it's a callback to different parts of your other rhymes. So in the 4 bars, I made a scheme about time. There's a scheme about time with the time and the hour. There's a scheme about eating, because I say devour, cats and rats, and also the chips reference as well. It's all these kind of inner kind of thoughts about eating. So that's like a little play on words about eating as well. Now, I want to take you 2 things to show you one of the techniques that I personally use. Now, the scheme that I'm using here, or the type of style of technique that I'm using in these bars, is called a scheme. Oftentimes referred to as a scheme. Well, I'm referring to something over and in and kind of hinting to it. But some rappers do it, many rappers do it. But what I personally do, I add punctuation on my pages to help me remember how the flow goes. I put the little diamond there. And again, this is something that I personally use. I put a diamond there to let me know that I'd have to pause there. To let me know that that's the point where I take a breath. Oftentimes when I'm writing rhymes, I don't know when I come back to this later on, or just now, I just wrote this like a few minutes ago, and I had to remember, oh, look, there's a pause there, so let me put a diamond there to remind me of the pause. I also, a personal tip that I use, I number next to the stanzas or the groups of bars together to let me know that I'm on my 8th bar here. When you're sculpting up your bars, you want to have an opportunity to have up to 16 bars. So our next couple classes will shape and we'll do it in real time. We'll shape the 16 bars themselves. So the first stanza is, there is no prize like the present. And again, that is what we were calling a scheme. Prize, present. All right. This is mighty flip side from the essence. And from the essence just means from the beyond, like from a mythical place. I'm just reminding you that how I feel like I'm important. All right. Because if anything, rap is an acknowledgement of your personal greatness, or an opportunity to make you remember that you're an important person in the world, that you matter. So rap does a good job of reminding the listener, and in fact you, that when you're writing it, that I am important, that I am an important person, and I want the world to know that I'm important. So rap does a great job of doing that. So the first line of the first bar 1, there is no prize like the present. Mighty flip side from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. Sit back and let me do my thing. Again, the reason why I said that was like kind of a throwaway is because, I mean, it's cool. It flows to the beat. But when I go to the second bar, a second stanza, let me see if I get this focused here. When I go to the second stanza, it's about time that the man of the hour, that's tall like a tower, that will start to devour. Pause. Break right here. You whack cats and all your rap packs. Take all of your chips, treat them like rap snacks. Now, I'm using a technique. Again, the reason why I'm doing all this is because I have the pause there so people have an opportunity to hear what you're doing. That is what I mean by getting the joke. If you're writing in a way that it's just a flurry of words, a flurry of rhymes, and people don't hear how you set it up, they won't get the joke. For example, this is a corny joke, I know. Just bear with me. I'm going to just do a corny joke. Why does Snoop Dogg need an umbrella? For drizzle. I know, it's a dumb joke. I get it. But it's a joke nonetheless. It's set up to... The reason why it's funny is because it surprises you. Like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And it's a little play on words. Because drizzle is a real word that people use for an umbrella. But drizzle sounds like a word that Snoop would say. That's why it's like funny. It's a play on words. And the pause of it is you getting the joke. That's what when you have bars like this. When you are writing rhymes, remember, you want to make sure that you're writing rhymes and have a little break, or have an opportunity for someone to get the pause or break so people can get the joke. Shout out to my man DJ Stan Lee. Why do we have a pause, or why do we have a break? Or why ask why, or why are we here? Why are we here in existence? Because we're all here, brother. But again, we're going to go referring to getting the joke. And what I mean by getting the joke, I don't mean like your rhymes are not necessarily funny. They're an opportunity for the audience, the people you're performing to understand what you're saying. Oh, why the dramatic pause? The dramatic pause is essentially, I use that, again, what I'm showing you here is a personal technique that I use when I'm writing rhymes. They're just an example of how I would indent my punctuation. That is something that I personally use. That little diamond there allows me to see that that's a pause in what I'm doing. Okay? All right? That's a pause in what I'm doing. And that creates an effect. And if you're writing rhymes for the first time and you're thinking about these clever lines, you want to have an opportunity for the community or the people who are listening to have an opportunity to get what you're doing. All right? So, All right, so we got about a little over 5 minutes left. So I want to talk a little bit about how when you're performing these when you're performing these bars that you memorized, and you remember the technique that we use to memorize these rhymes is a technique I call stress. Stress is a technique that I use. Try to get through your songs or your bars that you've written 3 times in a row without messing up. Without messing up. If you can get through it 3 times and commit it to memory and run through it 3 times without messing up once, it'll be in your mind forever. You'll memorize this forever and ever. Okay. So where do you perform this? I mean, I'm a new artist. I'm just starting writing rhymes. What you could do, back in the day, people just practice in the mirror. That's a new way to do it. But if you know rapping friends or people who play music, just practice with them. When you practice with other MCs, that's called a cipher, or it's called a cipher. Some of the newer people that I've worked with, younger cats, didn't know what a cipher was. They had no idea. So what you do is you go in a circle usually, and you get in a circle and you just practice your rhymes. It's a great way to spar, great way to practice. And the reason why they call it a cipher is because it's a circle. All right, it's taken from the Arabic word safir, which means zero or completion or round. Safir, S-I-F-R, and it basically you can use a cipher to practice what you're doing. A bunch of friends, bunch of musicians, just practice and see if you can get the groove on. Now, one way to know that people are getting the joke or excited about your rhymes, you can just see their eyes or the way they're or the way they move. You can see them being excited about some of the things you do. Now, I'm going to go over the bars again really quick. So I'm going to see if I can show you in real time. Let me see if I can read it. Again, these are when you get to the point where you're writing your own bars, find a way that's making you comfortable. Remember, my technique is to have the counts over here and also put punctuation. I have several different kinds of punctuation, but this is a punctuation that I personally use myself, all right? That's like a pause. That's how I write a pause, all right? All right? There is no pros like the present. This is mighty Flipside from the essence. When I grab the mic, I feel like a king. We lost the camera. I'm not sure what happened to the camera. All right. Well, let's see.